Today, for our spooky game vibes, we are going to cover one of my favorite games. It is called Mysterium. It's like Clue, but with a lot more supernatural fun. Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome in. It is gonna be a great week, all you Ghouligans out there. I can tell because it just started downpouring right when I started to film this video. So hopefully the lighting and the sound cooperate. Anyway, I hope you all had a great Friday the 13th. If you weren't aware, this Friday the 13th is the only one that is going to be happening this year, 2022. It was a great day for me. I got to spend it with my brother and my sister. We did a lot of fun things. We checked out this horror bar in Orlando called Cocktails and Screams. If there's any other Floridians out here, I would definitely recommend you check this bar out. It was so cool. I will insert some clips here for you too, but it is full on. It's Halloween 365 days a year, which of course you know I would be into that. There is no detail missed throughout this bar. We have Dr. Frankenstein's laboratory, we have Elvira's couch, we have the Addams family living room, we have the Hansel and Gretel witch house. There's so many different things hidden within this bar. It was incredible. I did get a couple of cocktails. One I got was called Frog's Breath, because there's nothing more suspicious than frog's breath. And it was very, very good. It's sweet if you like sweeter drinks. It had kind of a green apple flavor to it, which shocked me because I don't even remember green apple being anywhere in the description, but it had a very green apple-y flavor. And then the next one I got was called an Uncle Fester, and it came in a light bulb. Enough said. It was amazing. Definitely would order that one again. I will 100% be going back to that bar, so can't wait. Actually, it was so much fun. I have been wanting to go there now for over a year and finally made it on Friday the 13th, which is pretty great. But that's not why we're here today. But we're talking about more spooky game vibes. And this game that we're going to be discussing today is one of my favorites. So let's go ahead and just get on into it. Today, for our spooky game vibes, we are going to cover one of my favorite games. It is called Mysterium. So Mysterium, first of all, the artwork in this game is unbelievable. I could just plaster all of the artwork. I could literally frame every single one of the cards from this game and hang them all over my walls, and I would be set when it comes to artwork. But this full game, so the booklet itself here has the story for the game that you're going to be going into it, and kind of give you a little bit of a backstory. You and your friends, this is a cooperative game. You and your friends are playing psychics or mediums, however you want to call yourselves. But you all get this mysterious invitation to go to Mysterium Manor. There was a murder at Mysterium Manor, and they need help solving it. So you guys, so there are several different characters, and I'll hold up the character cards too. Each character has their own, like in every game that you're gonna play, has their own strengths, weaknesses, special plays, things like that. But what you're doing is you are communicating with the spirits of the house to try to discover who was the killer, where it was done, and what they killed the person with. So this ghost knows it's dead, but has amnesia, doesn't quite remember what happened to them or who did it. So they're having all these visions, and each psychic or each medium gets different visions. So depending on the scenario, you might be thinking it's one person, whereas the other players of the game think it's a totally different suspect. And there is one full scenario that's going to be correct. So this is played with people playing the mediums or the psychics, and one person playing the ghost, and they will sit behind this lovely screen. So I'm gonna go ahead and aim you down now just to see a little bit of the game table here. So we have the game table, and then we have this lovely screen set up. And I'll show you a full shot of what the table looks like. So the ghost sits behind the screen, and a lot like D&D, if you are a D&D player or have anybody in your life that plays D&D. So it's a lot like a D&D, like a DM's screen that they have. They have the scenario back here, things to help them kind of move the scenario along. Well, each color here goes to a different character or a psychic medium that somebody could be playing. So this is helping the ghost stay organized per what character everybody's playing. And you don't have to play all, how many are there? 6? There's 6 different characters people could play. You don't have to play it all the way up to 6, but you could. So this just helps everybody stay a little bit more organized. And so the ghost has certain cards. So once you are the ghost, you can no longer communicate via words during the entire gameplay, which sounds really difficult to do, and it can be very difficult to do. There are these cards that the ghost can get. So there's a whole deck of ghost cards, and I'm just gonna flip through a few. As you can tell, the artwork that focuses is stunning. That one's a little upside down. But none of them make 100% sense. So, are these all upside down? Okay, so none of them make 100% sense necessarily. They're all extremely abstract. And so these are the cards that the ghost has. You can have so many in your hand at a time, which can also make it very difficult. So you don't have the whole deck to play with at any given time. You only have whatever is in your hand. At certain points of the time, you do have 3, these are ravens up here. And at any time the ghost gets stumped or their cards just mega suck, which I've had to do a few times, you basically just have a raven fly away or crow fly away, whatever you want to call these guys, and then you can get rid of your hand, draw a new hand, and then start with those cards at that point. It is raining really hard outside. Don't know if you can hear it. But anyway, the other cards. So the cards that everybody that is not the ghost can see that's on the game board. Again, I'll show a clip of what the table looks like. Look something like, so this is a person card. So this is a possible suspect. And there's a lot of different things on our card. There's a lot of things happening. Or we could have pencil thin mustache guy. Yep, pencil thin mustache guy. We could have, what are you? Weird auto racer man guy. Okay. There's places. So like here's the, looks like the pool, like a creepy pool. We have a, I think this is supposed to be a wine cellar. I don't know what the chemistry stuff is, but I think that's what it's supposed to be. Looks like we have what appears to be a den. So all of those things, so those would be like the places that it could have happened. So we have people, places, and then the items are a lot more straightforward even than the places or the people. Like the items would be like this statue of what looks to be the Virgin Mary, an iron, things like that. So those would be the items. So what you're doing as the ghost is you have a scenario laid out for each person playing. So you know, like say you have 2 people out there playing mediums, you have a different person set for each of them. So let's just say we're setting this up as the ghost. All right, we'll use this guy here. So we have purple and yellow playing. So as the ghost, we're setting this up, and we'll say that, oh, those are the people cards. Those aren't us cards. So the cards that are for everybody beyond the ghost, in the realm of the living, we'll say, have these cards. And then the ghost has duplicate cards that you can tell because they're all veiled in blue. So I guess through the veil. So we'll just, I'm just gonna pick off the top here. There's a magician, so we'll say purple, I want them to guess the magician, and we want yellow to guess the nun. Then we'll move on to place. Okay. So, ooh, we'll choose that place because that's pretty. This looks like the attic. So, let me show you because it's just so pretty. Again, the artwork in this game is phenomenal. So purple, we have magician and attic. And then this looks like a creepy, like, it almost looks like Ebenezer Scrooge's bedroom, really, is what it looks like. So the nun in Ebenezer Scrooge's bedroom. And then moving on to the object, the fork. So the dingle hopper. So we got the magician in the attic with the dingle hopper, or we have the nun in the Scrooge bedroom with the iron. So those are the 2 scenarios that we have in this game thus far. Again, the more players you have, the more scenarios that the ghost would have worked up. So what that means is the ghost is the one that sets up the game board. Let me lay the screen back. I will get to the table. Be right back. So as the ghost, from behind that screen, you have set up this whole table for the players. Now this is set up as if all 6 psychics or mediums are going to be played. If you have less players, then there would be less cards on the table. You would downsize per however many players less are playing. So you would make sure as the ghost that whatever scenarios you have set behind your screen, that they all are out here. So we have the magician. We don't have the nun out because I didn't know I was going to draw that card, but let's pretend the nun is out here, okay? And then up here, oh, we already have the Scrooge bedroom out here, but then just pretend the attic is out here. We got the dingle hopper, and then the iron would be there as well. So whatever's behind the screen would also be out here. So as a player, what you're doing is the ghost, when it is your turn, is going to be giving you so many cards per vision. So the ghost might hand you 1 card, or they might hand you 2 cards. They might even hand you a few, and they all should be pointing to something in here. Now, as you can tell, there's a lot of things happening within these cards. And this is a very abstract card. Remember, the ghost only has whatever cards are in their hand to work off of. So depending on how well you know the person, you might have to get creative in your thinking. So the ghost might be like, well, this has like a reddish background and there's red in this magician. So I want you to think that. However, somebody could look at this and take it totally wrong. So they could be like, well, there's pointy needles here, and there is pointy calligraphy pens there. So we think it's this lady. And if they guess wrong, So let's just say that red wants to guess on her, and they ask the ghost, knock once for yes, 2 for no. Is it the old lady secretary? Oh, got it wrong. Back to square 0. So you're back here still, basically in the foyer of the whole building. So until you get the one knock that you got it correctly, you will not get to advance up a story within Mysterium Manor. So if you do end up guessing the card that they're pointing you to, you get to take that card and put it in your own character sleeve. So just for the sake of this video, we're going to say it's this guy. This guy would actually be white because he's got the white circle behind him. But you would put the card inside the sleeve. So you're basically collecting your scenario within the sleeve of your character as you progress up the floors until you make it to the top. Moving all the way up. So as you can tell, just due to the type of cards that you would have as the ghost, if you're playing the ghost, it's not always very easy to get the players to hone in onto what you're trying to tell them via your visions and to get them to guess the right people. So that can be slightly frustrating. And this is a cooperative game. So players are encouraged to kind of help one another because either everybody makes it to the top and can guess which scenario is the correct scenario, or everybody loses. So that's kind of how it goes. And as the game progresses, oops, the hours tick by. So, you know, as the night progresses, as you get to that 11th hour, if you haven't gotten it by that point and you guess it wrong, unfortunately everybody loses, and that ghost does not have vengeance or justice or anything to help it rest in peace because you didn't really listen to it very well, did you? It's a lot of fun, and it can be a lot more difficult than you think, especially because you are under a timer, and there's a lot of little things that you have to think about. Everybody interprets these cards so differently because they are extremely abstract, but they're beautiful. So definitely make sure while you're playing to admire the cards and the artwork while you're playing it. If you are the ghost, I really like playing the ghost. I think it's a lot of fun. And it's especially fun hearing people try to justify what they think the cards mean and why they think that. And they always seem to clue in on the one thing that had nothing to do with what you were trying to get them to clue in on. So there's always that. But the one good thing to help the ghost is that whatever cards you give a person, if they guess wrong, they keep those cards. And then when it's their turn again, you give them more cards. So then they have all those cards to hopefully try to help them hone into what you're thinking. But again, it can be difficult. These ravens or crows can very, very much come in handy to help you kind of get different cards, better cards. Just sometimes different is better, just something fresh. And you can set the mood. There actually is in the booklet even, there's a QR code that can take you to a spooky soundtrack to play in the background, which would be a lot of fun. But you can really play any music, or you can turn on one of those YouTube ambiance channels to even have a cool like moving picture in the background. You can light candles. You do need somewhat at least dim lighting for people to see the cards because there is a lot of detail in the cards. So being able to see that is key, but lower lighting can be a lot of fun. If you play it on a thunderstormy evening, it's even better. That's what I would say anyway. That's when I would love to play it. In fact, a friend and I, when I first got this game, I've played this game a lot. There's a lot of replayability, and I don't think it ever gets old. It is similar to Clue. I know that's usually how I explain it to people, is it's like Clue, but with a lot more supernatural fun. And that usually intrigues people. But a really fun thing to do that me and my friend Lori would do is we'd actually dress up to match the part of our psychic friends, which that can also be a lot of fun. If you really get into that role play aspect, it can be really good. So if you're playing the ghost or the ghoul, whatever you want to call yourself, you can really make yourself look undead. Undead? Dead? Dead. But it's a lot of fun if you really get into it with the ambiance, makeup, costumes, music, things like that. It just makes it a lot more fun. But I hope that you'll check this game out. You've already played it. I would love to hear your comments below on what you think about the game. If you haven't played it, do you plan on playing it? Are you gonna add it to your to be played list? Or Livelude is the maker of this game. Have you played any of their other games? I would love to hear it. So please make sure you comment below to say, hey Ghouligan, yes, I play that game, or no, I plan to. It's on my shelf, never been opened, that kind of thing. Because I would love to hear from you. Please remember to like and subscribe this video. Give me a big thumbs up. If you subscribe, make sure you hit that bell so that way it tells you when I upload new content, which I do weekly. I'm really happy that you stopped on by. Ghouligan, have a great week. Again, I hope you had a wonderful Friday the 13th and get to play in Mysterium.